Brad has been running a store online and in the depot, and I think there's potential there to increase that, increase the number of products, make sure that the margins are good on everything that's being sold, but there's potential there for making money. I mentioned online giving. This is the way that young people find out about what's going on and can respond quickly. They all know how to do their Venmo. They all know how to click a button and give their $5 or $10. But you get enough people interested in doing that, and that starts to add up. One of my specialties in my career has always been special events. Special events are absolutely the worst way to make money because there's so much work involved. But there is an upside to special events that makes us all do it. And the upside is the visibility, the marketing, the being part of the community. That is really, really important. So the board is planning to do a gala, and the definition is not really determined yet, in the summer of 2027. When I came on board, I said, no, we can't do it this summer. We've got this other whole list of things to do, and that special event is going to take way too much time and way too many resources to do. So with having over a year to plan for it, I think that we'll come up with a really good event for the summer, maybe August of 2027. That hopefully can become something annual in the community. Some of you know that I started STEMs, a garden soiree, at the Arboretum, which is closing in on 20 years, I think, 18 years, I think. Some enchanted evening at the college. You know, we want an event like that people want to come to. They want to see and they want to be seen, and we want the people to understand that the Historical Society and our work is about a value. Next, naming opportunities. When the depot was redone, Discover OP was done, there were no naming opportunities. I mean, there were naming opportunities, but nobody took them. So we need to get back to that. The exhibit room could be the Well Sky exhibit room. The research study room could have a name. The conference room could have a name. Some of you know that just outside of the depot, between the building and 80th Street, that's going to be transformed in the next few months to a plaza. The parking is going to be taken away. The curb is going to be barricaded. There's going to be a curb there. There's a driveway now, and that's going to be landscaped. I think it'll be a beautiful green space on that corner of downtown Overland Park, and it is the final requirement from the city of Overland Park to get their last payment for the money that they pledged. So that is a big priority, is to get that done. And I think that that's a very attractive naming opportunity for someone to have, you know, the Charlotte Plaza, or you know, just, you know, whatever we want to do it. So those are naming opportunities that are out there. Finally, and well, I had another handout before I get to that, because then I'm going to turn this over to Bob. when I talked about the stewardship circle, I've got a handout about that too, so that you know what that is. You want to do some over there. What I hope that this helps you do is on the front of it, it talks about why this matters. To a funder, you always need to tell them why this matters. And then you need to tell them what their gift is going to do. And then there's always a matter of, well, if that person is giving, then maybe I want to give. Or somebody else will think, well, Paul is giving, so I think I want to give. And so that's called leverage, leadership and leverage. And so gifts have that. And then they want to know what the community impact is. What difference does this make in our community? So finally, an investment is a commitment to a community identity, a partnership with civic leadership, a stabilizing force for Discover OP, and a legacy gift for Oberlin Park's future. So this is just gives you just some talking points that you might be able to use as you talk to people. Not necessarily asking for this level of gift, but you can just, again, talk about why this is an admirable place to invest in. So in the world of fundraising, there's something called the ultimate gift. And that is when someone makes provision in their estate planning to help the organization. So the planned giving is something that the Historical Society didn't have a program about that. And so I'm setting that up, and just so that people know that yes, we're a 501c3, we qualify for a charitable remainder trust or a gift from an IRA, you know, all those kinds of things legally and tax-wise the society is eligible for. So Bob's going to tell you a little bit more about that, but before I leave the microphone, does anybody have any questions? I scared the living daylights out of you, right? Bob.